Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, lifting up the standard of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, wherever you may be, keeping the faith and diligence of our Lord until we are delivered and all things are fulfilled. It's the brother Azariah back again with some prophetic things in the news that are noteworthy to touch on. So we'll get into it here. This is from the People's Voice. Kamala Harris vows to release all criminal illegal aliens into society on, quote, day one. So she's vowing that when she takes the presidency, which is looking like that's what's going to happen because they're talking about locking up your boy Trump, all right, in September. All right, so that's 2 months before the election. So with him dropping out, Kamala's really going to be the main candidate that's going to win because she's the, the current VP. So nobody's going to come up behind her and just all of a sudden win. But it would make sense for them to put Kamala in the office because what she's been talking about as far as, not allowing companies to price gouge and, talking about doing certain things for, taxes and things of that nature. It sounds good on paper, but when you really look at it, it's all adding to the collapse of America, which Kamala, she's not running nothing, all right? And she's just taking orders. And her job as the VP that she was appointed to was to deal with the border crisis, all right? And since she's been the VP, she's really been nowhere to be found. I mean, there was a stretch where it was like 6 to 8 months where she wasn't seen or heard from. She pretty much just disappeared. Now that Biden has been taken out the game, now she's the front runner for the, Democrats to run for president now. And now she's talking all this stuff, which, where was she at before? All right, so this whole political clown show is just that. All right, it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's all smoke and mirrors get, put in front of you to get people's spirits stirred up. All right, and to ultimately cause chaos, which is what the elites want. But concerning this here, criminal illegal aliens to be released into society, it would make sense that this is what she would advocate for because she was supposed to be in charge of controlling the migrations on the border, but she didn't do that. So that just shows you in and of itself that she wasn't trying to stop these illegals from coming in. But the fact that they're here now, she wants to release all of them that, have been detained into society, which what is this leading to? We've been telling you since day one, since all these things first started to manifest themselves, that this is leading to a purge scenario in America. And this is exactly what you're seeing. Okay? So all these people, these front runners for the WEF, the young global leaders, they're ushering in this NWO, and now they're going hardcore with it, and everybody's worried, everybody's fearful, up in arms, which they should be, because for the Edomites and the other nations, this is the end of their rulership on the earth, and it's going to go out with violence, right? And this is why you're seeing in these major cities, New York, Chicago, LA, that the crime is just rampant, all right? Especially New York. We saw what happened a few months ago with those squatters. Pretty much the New York government, they was allowing these illegals to pretty much go in and take over people's homes legally, and you could call the police to your home if it was squatted in by an illegal, and guess what? The police couldn't do nothing. All right, why? Because they've been given the order to stand down. All right, because why? They want chaos in these cities, man. You see, what the men of the Lord have been speaking, these things are coming to pass in real time. All right, you can't ignore this no more. This is actually in your face now. So Kamala Harris has admitted that her plan on, quote, day one is to shut down all immigration and customs enforcement detention centers and set illegal aliens free. You see that? So ICE under her jurisdiction would be no more. All right, so you wouldn't have any more detained illegals in this country. They would all be released into society. And where are the resources going to come from to take care of these people? All right, where are they going to get work? Where are they going to get clothing and things like that? I mean, we already see that this government is setting up these illegals nice, giving them housing, they ain't paying no rent, giving them, you know, brand new cars, no you know, license plate, no insurance, no nothing. But yeah, here it is, Jake in America, yo black ass, all right, working 80 hours a week and can barely put food on the table. All right, but you talking about voting for any of these devils. You know, this is complete madness, man. All right, so they talking about abolishing ICE and setting all these illegal aliens free. Mind you, military-aged men that are clearly here for ill intentions, all right? They're not here for a quote-unquote better life. No, they were brought across this border, all right, because also what's been coming out, many of them were actually criminals, all right? They, you know, no matter where they come from, you know, Venezuela or Honduras or you know what I'm saying, Colombia, whatever the case, man. You know, a lot of these guys have gang affiliations, all right? During a recent campaign stop in Iowa, a Center for Worker Justice volunteer named Sally Hartman asked Kamala a question about whether or not Kamala is committing to close the immigration detention centers. Kamala's eager response was, absolutely, on day one. On day one, Kamala enthusiastically declared to thunderous applause. Yes, all right, now pledges to release all criminal illegal migrants from detention centers into the United States on day one if she's installed into the Oval Office. All right, so we see what's being set up here. All right, things are about to get very, very crucial in these cities, you know, worse than what they already are. And like I said, you can just look at New York and LA, Chicago, cities like that as an example of what they want these cities in America to become, just completely lawless. All right, Kamala is also for defunding the police. So when you have these men that are released into society, which really a lot of them are spirits created for vengeance, all right, and they're gonna do just that. They're gonna go around, they're gonna be deleting people, they're gonna be raping women, all right. They pretty much gonna be having a way out here, and there's not gonna be anyone to stop them, all right, because this is what the powers that be want to happen, all right. This is how they're gonna get you to acclimate, to align yourself with this NWO, all right. Cry out for peace and safety, all right. Yeah. PSA, she wants to destroy the country faster than Biden. Someone warned on X about Kamala and her open border policy. Forget about safety, forget about the rule of law. Kamala wants chaos on tap. This is a full-on assault on America's safety, and that's a person that understands what's really going on here, all right. This is a person that sees through the BS and the smoke and mirrors, and they can see clearly what's going on, which really everyone with a functioning brain should be able to see what's being set up here, man. I mean, this is not rocket science, okay? But the end goal is to set up this NWO, get you on a digital ID, all right, and eventually get you chipped, all right? This is what all these things are coming down to. So this is to let you know all these things that we continue to see on a weekly basis, day by day, that we're getting closer and closer to the end, and all hell is about to break loose. The ish is about to hit the fan. Now, dealing with this illegal situation, right? What just occurred in the city of Aurora, Colorado, a few days ago? Pretty much, all the tenants of an apartment complex, they were told to evacuate the premises on a very short notice basis. Now, they're going to tell you because something with city funding and all of that. But the real reason behind this is pretty much that a Venezuelan gang has taken over that particular apartment complex, and the landlord, all right, has pretty much told all the tenants that live there to evacuate the premises. I think they said within 72 hours, but they'll correct it in the video if I'm wrong. Within 72 hours, that all tenants within this building must evacuate, lest they pretty much be at risk for their lives. Okay, so now, this particular complex has been vacated and the gangs own it. Now, this is a precedent of Kamala, as we just read, what she's advocating for. All right, because this right here, this is just a small glimpse of what is to come. All right, because very soon you're going to see these gangs start taking over whole portions of these cities. I mean, look, you thought the Crips and the Bloods was bad, but the Crips and the Bloods, there's really only so much that they could do because the law was on their ass. Okay, now with these migrants coming in, the law is not allowed to persecute them. All right, so they've been given free reign to do what they want to do. All right, and Esau is actually going to give cities over to these migrants, man, to where it's going to be complete lawlessness and chaos. Things are not going to be this way as you see for too much longer. All right, that's why the scriptures say in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, that a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. There's going to be so much chaos going on. You're going to be having checkpoints. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be in 15-minute cities. They're going to pretty much quarantine you due to all of what's going on, these certain diseases that are coming about, martial law. Okay, so this is the time of Jacob's trouble that we're entering, man. Like, things are changing drastically. All right, so we'll check this out and get into some other articles and precepts as well, and Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying.
Tonight we are following up on the City of Aurora's plans to close an apartment complex that houses a large population of new immigrants. Now, they're closing it because of code violations. Some believe, though, there's more to the story. They say it involves a South American gang. Denver 7's Brandon Richards shows us how city officials are responding to those accusations.
Well, if you've been on social media here in the last couple of weeks, you may have seen a lot of information being shared about a Venezuelan gang that people say is causing all kinds of problems in Aurora. Well, this morning we learned APD has set up a task force to look into those allegations. The city of Aurora says it's closing this apartment complex near Colfax and Peoria due to a long list of code violations going back years.
We are not buying this.
Aurora City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky and some of her colleagues believe there's more to the story.
We believe that, yes, there are code violations, but this started because of a gang takeover. That's what we believe.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And that landlord told the tenants to leave because basically his life would be in danger and their lives as well. Now, the code violations, now that's one thing, but to close down an entire complex where people are living and paying rent, that's not a good enough reason to completely vacate an apartment complex. Nah, man, there's something else bigger going on. All right, and what's really happening is that these gangs are taking over. Now, this is in Aurora, Colorado. All right, now, if this is happening in Aurora, then believe you me, this thing is going to happen in Boulder, Colorado, and it's going to happen in Denver, which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Aurora is not far outside of Denver. Okay, but what are you seeing in these major cities, man? You're seeing these gangs continue to get more and more power. Just look at New York, for example. All right, the guy, what's his name? Cash Jordan. Like, if you go to his page, like, this dude be going in, and like, he's showing you all the madness that's going on in New York is very lawless. All right, because the migrants have been set up to be agent provocateurs of chaos. All right, and the laws do not apply to them. All right, now you couldn't do what these migrants can do. Okay, because they've been brought in, but they've been set up for a specific purpose. Let's continue.
The company that manages the site says the same thing, that a gang from Venezuela had taken over the property, making it too dangerous for their staff to be there. Aurora police have not said whether those claims are true, but say they are investigating.
I know it's been shootings here, but it's not because of people from here. It's people from other places that comes here looking for problems.
Residents at the complex told us no manager has been on site for a while.
We've been trying to get in touch with the manager. He quit. And we have no manager.
At a public safety meeting Thursday, Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman once again pointed to code violations as the reason the city was closing the complex.
I know that the owners are talking about that it's a gang issue. It's really, the problems there go way back.
On top of creating a task force to look into alleged gang activity, Aurora police say they've also started reviewing criminal reports from the past year to see if they were gang-related.
So we're actively looking at those things right now in conjunction with the task force, our federal and state partners also.
Councilwoman Juridsky says it's long overdue.
I think it's coming maybe 6 to 8 months too late, but I hope that we are able to track some of these people down.
But she hopes it will finally provide some answers. In Aurora, Brandon Richard.
Yeah, so the situation in these cities is getting out of control, and Esau, pursuant to Revelation 12 and 12, he's coming down with that great wrath, and this is it. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 6, and let's start at verse 12. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. All right, now when you go into that word froward, it goes into deliberately contrary or stubbornly disobedient. All right, but who is that stubbornly disobedient and contrary man? But that's Esau Edom, that wicked man, that naughty man. All right, who is adverse to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. 13, he winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. See that? So frowardness is in this man's heart, man. Like, this man is the wicked. All right? That's why I say he devised mischief continually. All right? So these devils, they'll sit up all night in these think tanks. They have the money, they have the resources, they have the connections to make these things happen. Because at one point in time, it was just talk and it was hearsay. Now, it's in your face. You can't deny it. Okay? He soweth discord, confusion. All right? All these things that this devil is doing is to get you to bow the knee to the image of Baal. All right? To bow down to the beast system, man. To worship this man as Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because that's ultimately his desire, and also to gain back the birthright. See? So Esau, look, man. The men of the Lord, starting with the elders and apostles, man. Look, you cannot rebuttal this. All right, these are facts. This is in your face, and it's coming to a city near you. You may see these things in Colorado and say, "Oh, well, that's Colorado. That's way out there." Nah, it's coming to your city if it ain't already in your city. See, therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. See that? So, he is going to continue on, but the Most High is going to raise up a standard against this devil to where his plans are going to be disappointed. And he's going to be taken out the way. But before he's taken out the way, this mischief must come on the earth. And, this man must, continue a short space according to prophecy to fulfill what he was set up to fulfill. All right. So now when we get back to this, because this also goes into that sowing mischief and discord. Right. Also the plagues of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. UK should have been more prepared for Mpox amid warning it may be here. So now they're saying that the first case of Mpox has been reported in the UK. It says the UK should be more prepared for the first case of Mpox, as it may already have spread into the country. It comes as Sweden. Now pay attention to Sweden, right? Because, we'll touch on Sweden in a minute. It comes as Sweden became the first country to declare a case of clade 1 Mpox outside of Africa, where the virus has killed at least 500 people. So check this out. Right now, we know Sweden, going back years ago, all right, they were pretty much the first ones to roll out that, digital ID chip infrastructure, okay? And they're still the front runners of it, because I think right now in Sweden, pretty much majority of their population has been chipped, all right? So they're already running on that infrastructure, okay? And they're bringing the same thing to the rest of the EU, to those European nations. All right. But it's no coincidence that Sweden, all right, is the first country outside of Africa, right? And they're, and they're the front runners for this chip technology. So these crises and these calamities and diseases and digital IDs and all this stuff, right? Just brought out a few days ago as well that the EU, starting next month in a few weeks, as a matter of fact, they're going to be rolling out a V card pilot program. All right. So what are the odds that now, right before they're supposed to start this pilot program, you're seeing in European nations that they're dealing with this disease and migrant crisis and all this type of stuff, man. All right. This is manufactured chaos. Okay. But yeah, these things are happening in these nations because they want to bring forth that certain device, okay, which ultimately where they can be under your skin and they can be as the Most High. Paul Hunter, professor of medicine at the University of East Anglia, told the Mirror, "I'd bet on it already being in the country because by the time you get infected and diagnosed to understand what clade it is, you're looking at around 2 weeks. Experts have also said we should have learned our lesson from previous outbreaks and tried to stop the spread as soon as we knew about it." It says Michael Weeks, professor of viral immunology at the University of Cambridge, stated, "Mpox is going to keep coming back. Governments should have realized this. They need to provide better funding, better access to vaccines, and a proper global response after the spread in 2022. That's another thing too, because they tried to push this back in 2022, but it didn't really stick like that. All right, but now they've tweaked it and they've made it more transmissible. All right, they've made it more, deadly. Okay. Also, this devil, the gates of hell, kill Gates, seeding Mpox in major cities via chemtrails. All right, so this man here, all right, these Edomites are the absolute devil that the Bible speaks of. Oh, okay, this is the wicked of the earth that rule over the earth. All right, so over there in UK or Sweden, wherever that these cases occur, they doing the same thing, spreading it in the air. All right, they're putting it just in the environment in general. Okay, so you can come down with this thing, and like we just read in the last article, by the time you even realize what's going on, you're already infected. All right, so there really is no way for you to be proactive about catching this thing. It's pretty much once you realize you have it, 100 or 2,000 other people have it too. So then it becomes a pandemic, which is what they want. This is what they need to lock the world down again. All right, and have this martial law occur. All right, and when these martial law does come, you're going to be seeing the same thing that happened in Bangladesh. Notice how the news ain't really speaking about that, but that country, the government of that country has been overthrown, and I believe now they've actually set up a WEF, young global leader, in that country. So look at that. Okay, same thing happening in the UK. All right, they're in complete anarchy. You see what I'm saying? So these devils are moving with their plans. They ain't wasting no time because they know time is short. A disturbing revelation has emerged from within the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation as a whistleblower comes forward to expose a plan to use the existing chemtrail operation to unleash the next pandemic. A senior scientist has bravely broken her silence to reveal a covert operation known as Project Skypox. So they got a name for this thing, right? Project Skypox. Let's see if we can get some information on that. Whatever. Which involves spraying a highly contagious variety of aerosolized Mpox over unsuspecting civilian populations with a view to causing a new pandemic and rolling out a punishing regime of vaccines and restrictions. And these devils are already talking about they got V's ready to be rolled out. Okay? Now, mind you that this pandemic was just declared and they already got V's ready. So That should already let you know that they've been planning this thing for a while. And this may be that disease X that they were speaking about. Okay? This Mpox. You see? The globalist elites have done their best to unleash hell on earth in the last 4 years, but we the people have held strong, maintaining our dignity and exposed their lies. The elite understand their agenda is in a grave risk of failing, and they are growing increasingly desperate to find new ways to enslave humanity. Earlier this week, WEF young global leader Justin Trudeau warned Canadians to expect a new virus, worse than CV, that will somehow cut off their access to the food supply, banking services, and gasoline. See? So these devils getting ready to cut you off. All right, so listen, hey, you better know where you stand right now, okay? Because when the lights go out and they're talking about reports are coming out to be prepared to be without power for 2 to 4 weeks. 4 weeks on the low end. Okay? So no internet, no communication, no nothing, man. It's going to be a blackout, man. And, these also add to the plagues that the Lord is bringing upon Babylon the Great. This is going to add to the sorrow, man. All this mirth and folly is about to stop. Okay? Because we're in that time. Yeah, so, banking, food supply, gas, and we already know chaos is going to come from that, because once the power go out and people see that ain't no police on the streets, they're going to rush into these malls, okay? They're going to break into these supermarkets, all right? Pursuing the second Ezra 6 and 24. Suddenly shall the full storehouses be found empty, all right? So people, listen, it's going to be a free-for-all out here. Nobody's going to give a damn, There's going to be no mercy on these streets. It says, meanwhile, the WEF infiltrated government in the UK is busy cracking down on any form of dissent from the globalist agenda. And yeah, that too. Tony Blair, he's pushing for that digital ID over there to crack down on those that speak against what the WEF is doing. Okay? So they about to implement that too. And it's no wonder that you see what's going on in the UK, which really a lot of these protests that are happening, a lot of these things are set up, because they're also protesting in India. I forget what they protesting about, but something about the government, Now, you may have people that are sincere, that are sincerely disgruntled about what's going on in their government and protesting against this NWO. But at the end of the day, George Soros and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, they have the money to set these certain factions up to pay these people. All right, just like a lot of them protesters over there in the UK, they were set up. All right, they were paid off to cause this violence and confusion that you're seeing. You see? Yeah, cracking down on any form of dissent from the globalist agenda. This week, arresting people for crimes such as sharing anti-establishment rhetoric on social media. See, the elite earmarked 2024 as the year to break humanity's spirit and move at breakneck speed toward the authoritarian future they have been planning for decades. All right, and that's what we're seeing now. All right, so prepare yourself for the worst. Pray for the best. Pray that Yahweh Shem Shai, all right, keep you in these evil days, all right, and hide you from the secret council, now the open council of the wicked. See, because these devils are spraying chemtrails, they're tampering with the food, they're doing all kinds of things, and we need Yahweh Shem Shai, man, all right, because we ain't gonna get through this thing on our own. Our faith is ultimately what's gonna hold us down. But see, believing that Yahweh Shem Shai will, that's the most important thing, man. Our faith, all right? The scriptures say that the just shall live by his faith. So when all hell breaks loose in this world, we understand that going to the devil, going to E, is not an option, all right? Because going to him is ultimately going to get you destroyed, point blank, period, all right? So, our faith, we need to be building that up in this time, man, and that's rehearsing the righteous acts, being in the scriptures, occupying ourselves in prophecy, studying to show ourselves approved. All right, because these things are shortly about to come upon us, that hour of temptation, right? 2nd Ezra 16:1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? And guess what? Esau, the so-called white man, he is a part of those plagues. You know, Esau, he's a plague within himself. All right, because this man spread himself like a green bay tree, all right, all around the earth, you know, sowing confusion, sowing discord, spreading diseases, you know, bringing wickedness to these different nations. All right, so this man is as a plague his damn self. All right, and hey, the scriptures say that you know, the Most High cometh to cutteth off that long disease, which you know, what is that long disease? Well, it's Esau. All right, the hammer of the whole earth. See, going down. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? And see, the Lord is really threatening you right now through Esau, all right, through the wicked, okay, because the wicked is the sword of the Most High. Understand? So the Most High is using Esau to bring that wrath upon the earth, which really shows you that man is really just a vessel to be used by Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, either for wickedness or for righteous. All right, and Esau, he's that vessel of wrath fitted for destruction. He's that wicked vessel. All right, so he's being used by the Lord to afflict people, to cause people to lose their sanity, cause people to lose their homes, and you know, not, you know, be able to eat and have a peace of mind. All right, ultimately to destroy them because of their wickedness, because they have not regarded the law, statutes, and commandments. They've broken the everlasting covenant. So now you must reap what you have sown. Now you must catch judgment. This is what's happening. This is what the men of the Lord are here to tell you. All right, the earth quaketh and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. Verse 14, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. All right. Then you read down at 18, 20 on down, it speaks about the victuals shall be so good, cheap, and many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. You see? Now when you go to let's go to chapter 8, right? You go down to verse 50. What it say? For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Because why? They have walked in great pride. See? So the pride that these people have been living in, living good in Babylon the Great, strengthening themselves in their wickedness because of their money, because of their riches, these things are now being taken away. And these migrants now, all right, just like how Esau came here back in the days, and basically he was the first squatter. Esau was the first squatter. He came in and he stole the land, from our northern kingdom brothers, all right, and he took it over by force. Hey, well, guess what? Now Esau the devil, the elites at the top, Amalek, they're now afflicting the lower level Edomites, and they're having the same thing happen. Now illegal migrants are now coming in and squatting on your land. Now they're squatting on your houses, taking your possessions, taking your jobs away, all right, taking up your food, all right. So they're replacing these Edomites and these Babylonians, man. They ain't happy about it. This is why Trump is pretty much the guy that they see as the savior for America, all right, which they're deceived even in that, because the Most High ain't dealing with Trump. The Most High is just using Trump as a focal point in biblical prophecy in these last days to bring about the end of this great whore, to bring about the end of America. All right, so these prophetic events that we see, this is all culminating to one big final finale in which, Yahweh Shai is going to return with the host of heaven, with the so-called UFOs or UAPs, which, there have been reports coming out that people all across America have been seeing an increasing number of these aerial phenomenon. All right, which that just goes to show you that our brothers, the angels, you know, are all around us, man. That our salvation is very near. Okay, you know, it's not that much time left. You know, we could be out of here by 2025, man. You know, like that's how short the time is right now. See, so yeah, I'll go ahead and close out here. Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying through the Rakakadash. Call Halim La Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect, Kum Yasha'Allah, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.